Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking you through how you're going to take attendance for all of your supplemental instruction sessions. For the sake of this example, I'm going to be using the fall 2021 folder, but the same thing applies to future semesters as well. So to start things off, you are going to go to the Google Drive folder that has been shared with you for your semester, and then you're going to look for the attendance folder. So go ahead and open up that folder. And this is just an example for today, but your folder will have spreadsheets for each of the different subjects. So you will find the spreadsheet for your subject, go ahead and click on that. So I'll use attendance practice for now. And then what you're going to do next is you are going to search along the bottom for the tab that has your subject and name. So today I'm going to be an Accounting 101 leader. So I'm going to click on the tab for that one. And then this is the spreadsheet that I will see to track my attendance. So to sort of give you an overview of the spreadsheet, we obviously have several different columns here or rows. So what you're going to do is you are going to be adding some information in here for each of your sessions. And then in this bottom section is where you will input which students attended your session for that day. So to talk you through the different rows, the first one will only be used by the graduate assistants and the COP leaders, so you don't need to worry about this one at all. Basically, Academia is a system where we input the attendance that you all have for your sessions, and so this is to kind of help us keep track while we're doing that. The next row has the week of the semester, as well as the dates, just kind of help you and us keep things organized. Session notes is where you're going to input any important information that you think we might need to know. And I'll come back to that in just a minute. Session type. So for this drop-down menu, these are the different options that we'll have for your sessions. So an example would be a canceled session, a virtual session, a virtual exam review, an in-person session, and an in-person exam review. So what you'll do is you would select what you had. So for example, I'll say that I had a virtual session, and then session date is where you're going to input the date of your session. So I'll say September 2nd, and it will automatically update and format it so it's consistent. So you can just kind of type in the date, however it works for you, and then it will go ahead and update. And I'm going to say that I had my session from 3 to 4 p.m. So we ask that you input the date that you, or the time that you start your session, as well as the time that you're ending your session, just to make sure that we can keep everything organized. For the row that says number of visits, you don't need to worry about this one at all. It will automatically calculate based on the attendance info that you put down here. So for example, if I were to select that John attended, then it would update to a number 1. So you don't need to worry about that row at all. We do, however, want to make sure that if you have a no-show, you would add it in this drop-down menu. So your options are either you had a session that was a no-show, you had a session where you had attendance, or doesn't apply because you had a canceled session. So this will kind of help us keep track of throughout the semester if we need to make adjustments to days and times of sessions, anything like that. So go ahead and fill that out as well. And then when you're in your session, what you're going to do is if a student shows up, all you have to do, check the box. So we want to make sure that this portion, or all of the attendance, but especially the student information, is inputted by midnight the day of your session, so we can go ahead and get it uploaded into Academia in a timely manner. So you'll just check boxes as people show up. It's ideal to do this at the beginning of the session, but if you'd rather wait until later on, then that's totally fine as well. One thing to note is occasionally you might get a student that is not on this roster. We pull these rosters at the beginning of the semester, so there can be changes that are made as the semester goes on. But we ask that if you have a student that attends your session that's not on your roster, instead of adding them to the spreadsheet, that you type it into the session notes up here, and then you will email the COP leader that is in charge of tracking attendance for your semester, and they will get the person properly added into Academia and onto the spreadsheet for you. So again, make sure that you send that information to them instead of adding it on your own, so you can make sure that everyone ends up in the system properly. One thing to note too is that in the past, we've had folks use a color code. This spreadsheet will automatically do it for you. For example, exam reviews are red. So if you select that you're going to have an exam review, it will automatically update to that color, which helps us keep track as we're doing attendance assessment, all those sorts of things. Same thing if you were to have a no-show, will turn yellow, or a canceled session will turn gray. So that way you don't have to worry about adding all of those in. It will automatically do it for you once you've selected from the drop-down menu. Another thing to keep in mind is that some subjects will have joint exam reviews or common exam reviews. So what you would do for that case is there will be another tab along the bottom for your subject that would say, as an example, Accounting 101 Common Exam. And so what I would do if I were hosting a common exam with someone is you input all of this information. So I'll say, let's say we change this one to an exam review. And then up here, I would say joint exam review with Alexa. And then that will let the graduate assistants and the COPs that are looking through for attendance data to know that, okay, you had a session on this day. You don't need to put in the information here. We'll put it in on that joint exam review spreadsheet, and we'll go and look at that because you noted that you had a joint exam review with somebody else. For those joint exam reviews, only one person will need to input the attendance, so we won't need two columns. Just have one of the supplemental instruction leaders either during the exam review or afterwards go to that common exam review tab and input all of that information so we can keep track of that there. If you have any questions on how to do attendance, you can feel free to reach out to your COP leader, the graduate assistants, or any of the ADs. And you can also take a look back at the SI manual as there are detailed instructions in there as well.